Hey guys, today we're going to make steel cut oats. Now steel cut oats are usually prepared the night before, and that's a great way to do it. Personally, I'm just too impatient. I don't like to leave things on over the night. So I'm going to show you how to quick and easy make them. I usually make 2 servings so that I can have an extra on the side for a workout. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn my pan on to medium-high heat. And then we're going to put 1.5 cups of water. So we're just going to pour that in there. Okay. And then 1 serving of steel ground oats is 1/4 of a cup. So it's 1 part steel cut oats, 3 parts water. So we are going to take 2 servings. There we go. Alright. And now, steel cut oats by themselves are not very appetizing. So I like to add stuff to it. So here we go. Alright. I like to add half an apple. So you can use any apple you have. Just not leaving it overnight. The apple's not going to really have an opportunity to get mushy. So just cut out the core. Alright, there we go. Now we're just going to put this in our compost pile. See if I can give you guys a little more light. Hold on. There we go. Alright. Now we're just going to cut up our apple into cubes. And you do not want to peel your apple, because most of the nutrients is in the peel. So, and this is a really good way to get kids to eat the peel, because the peel won't be as mealy as it would be if you didn't cook it. So if you have kids at home, I have a little sister, and she eats this. So I'm guessing it's pretty good. Let's make a weird sound. So we're just going to cut it into cubes. Cubes, like about that size. Usually I use Gala apples. They are actually a lot better for baking and cooking than your normal Granny Smith apple, believe it or not. Alright, and sugar is really bad for you, and it's really bad to have before a workout. And y'all are like being blinded by the sun, sorry. So what I like to use is Turbinado sugar. It's brown, not white, it's not bleached. So, stir it up. And I get this at the Fresh Market. It's actually relatively cheap there. If you get it pre-packaged, like you would with a bag of sugar, it's going to cost you a lot more than if you were to weigh it out yourself at, say, the Fresh Market. You could probably do it at Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or something like that too. So I like to take 1 tablespoon for 2 servings. And that should be plenty, because you can always put honey on it if it's not sweet enough. And then we have sliced almonds. These I got at the Fresh Market too. It's just very simple. Almonds are very good for you. So I'm going to put, it's 2 tablespoons for 1 serving, so I'm going to do 4 for 2 servings. And then something that I like to put in there just gives it a lot more taste. Let me stir this. Hold on. Stir up our oats. this point, it's beginning to boil. It's not quite there yet. And that's fine. You want them to boil so they cook faster. And these are pitted dates. Dates are very good for you. They're dried fruit, like raisins or prunes, or, you know, all kinds of stuff. So I'm actually going to use 4 today. And we're going to cut them in half. It might be relatively hard since they are dried fruit. Okay. And then, see? Then we're going to do them in slices. Trying to make sure you guys can see me without cutting my hand off. And these I got actually at Aldi's. I got the whole pack for probably $1.50, so they're relatively inexpensive if you know where to get them at. They're kind of hard to cut because they have such a rough skin. And you can also just eat these as a snack. They're very good. They're sweeter than raisins, which is what I like about them. Because raisins, I don't really like raisins that much. I used to be crazy about them when I was a kid, but just not anymore. Uh-oh! Our pot is starting to boil way over. It's gotten really big. So we're just going to turn the heat down. And stir it. And once it starts to boil up like that, you want to be able to stir it enough so it doesn't stick to the bottom. If it does stick to the bottom, it's going to taste pretty much the same unless you start to burn it. So you can leave it overnight, and that'd be fine. You probably put it in your crock pot. Be the best idea because you probably don't want to leave your stove on. Wow. Well, there's something on it, because if it boils over in the middle of the night, you're probably not going to hear it. So, I'm finished cutting up our dates. And then it's all in here and prepared. Alright, now we're going to start adding our ingredients to our pot. So I'm going to take our turbinado sugar. I'm just going to add that in there, because you want this to dissolve in with the rest of your stuff. So that it's not too crunchy. You get turbinado sugar is really hard to dissolve, so it's best if you. I'm gonna take my hair down because it's falling out. Okay. Turbinado sugar is relatively difficult to dissolve. The reasoning is because it's not as fine as regular sugar. It's a lot clumpier. If that makes any sense. You might mistake it for brown sugar, but brown sugar is just regular sugar mixed with molasses. And molasses is really not that good for you either because it's code word for sugar. So we're just going to keep stirring this. It's starting to get kind of a syrupy texture, but there's no syrup in it. It would do this even if you didn't put the turbinado sugar in it. It's just the texture it's supposed to get. And now I'm going to turn it up again. I'm going to turn it to 7, which is medium-high heat, just so it speeds up the cooking process. Alright. Doing good. Now we're going to add our apples. Just stir that up. Add our almonds. Okay. And our dates. Okay. Now we're just going to stir it up. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Dishes in the sink. Alright. It's over here. You see what it looks like? It looks pretty good. It's going to take some time for all the liquid And just so we have by the oats. So we're just going to keep stirring it. Okay. I'll turn it up a little bit more. And now I have it on high heat, and you want to make sure you keep an eye on it because it will stick to the bottom. This is really good before your workout meal because of the oats and the apples. That sugar in the apples is going to raise your blood sugar, which is pretty good to have during a workout. So we're going to take off the heat real quick. See what it's doing. It's not quite done yet. You'll know when it's done. You can honestly take it off if you want it more soupy, just depending on what you want. I like it more creamy. So I'm going to try to get it to absorb as much of that liquid as possible. We're just going to keep stirring it, and if you want to have this in the morning, you should have it with eggs if you're going to work out right after, because you do need that protein in your body while you're working out. I like to actually have this, and then I will mix my protein powder with some coffee and some ice, and it's really, really good, because I usually cool this before I eat it in the fridge. So, alright, once it's done, take it off the heat and show you guys how I put it into the servings. So, I'm going to get 2 bowls. Hold on, let me okay. I'm just going to get 2 bowls. And you guys see what that looks like? Perfect. It's really, really yummy looking. Okay. And now I'm just going to equally divide the servings into the bowls. See all that steam coming off? Be very, very careful when you're scooping this. It's really, really hot. Just try to be careful. Just add the rest of this one. Alright, and then you're going to want to let it cool just so that you can put a top on it and it won't pop off in the fridge. So that's all you do. Stay tuned for more videos. See you guys later. Bye.